Hi, good day, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is you're here. I would like to offer a little practice today that helps get into a bit of piriformis pain, which also is very close to the glute med, can create a bit of sciatic pain. So if you feel like your glutes, your outer hips, or just you have a bit of sciatic issues, then this might feel great for you. We're going to use some blocks today and our fists because using other tools you might not have, but we've all got our fists at the bottom of our arms. So I would like you to start today on your back, please. Have your knees bent and rest your knees against each other and let your arms rest by your sides. As tempting as it is to rest on your body, give yourself a chance to try putting your arms out to the sides and have your palms up. Take a few breaths, and as you take a few breaths, let yourself feel your back along the ground. Try to relax. Now I find my shoulders are a bit clenched, so I'm going to try to shuffle and shimmy out of that tension. That's better. See if you can trace with your mind the curve of your spine. Try to continue to use your mind to map out around your glutes and hips. Maybe one side feels completely different than the other. When I think about it, it feels like my right side is bigger than the other, even though my right side is actually weaker, and so probably smaller. Take one more breath like that. And then as you exhale, let your knees start to separate, but please keep your feet as wide as they were, or maybe even wider if you've got nice long legs. I'd like you to start just by allowing your knees to very slowly windshield wipe left and right. Not necessarily reaching for the ground as your knees come down, maybe a little bit, but not an excessive amount. And try to avoid having your knees land on top of the opposite leg. So make sure your feet are wide enough apart so that you don't touch the other leg. Now bring your knees rather, back up to center. Bring your feet back toward each other so they're hip distance apart. Knees still bent. Use your fists now and lift up your hips. So I like to have my knuckles up when I do this. Lift up your hips and rest your bum back down on your fists. Now, if that doesn't feel great for you and you happen to have two tennis balls or dog balls or something like that lying around, go ahead and use those instead. But not everybody does, so I'm just going to offer with fists. And then let your right knee start to just drop out to the right, just on its own. Out and up, out and up. Let's say two more, and one more. And now keep your right knee up and do the same with the left knee, so let it drop out and up. Mine's really plopping today. You can do it smoothly, but try to keep the movement gentle and not forceful. That's probably why mine's plopping. Let's do two more and one more. Good. And now I'd like you to keep your fists, or if you're using balls, keep your balls there, and have your feet on the ground. Let your toes be felt on the ground, and let both sides of your heels be felt. So you are gently having that connection with your feet down to the ground evenly. I'd like you to push down into your right foot more as if you're trying to make an imprint until your right hip gets a little bit light and you might feel more pressure down into your left, onto your knuckles or onto the ball. And now lower your right hip back down, release that pushing down effort of your right foot, and start to push down with your left foot. Now when this happens, that increased pressure of the opposite hip might feel really nice, but also slightly challenging. We're going to add a bit more effort. So push down with your right foot, and as your right hip lifts, think about trying to roll or sort of slide, like you're gliding your hips over to the right as well. So there's a bit of a slide to the right as your right hip lifts. And then come back down. Push down with your left foot, and as the weight goes onto your right hip, think about trying to slide your hips out to the left. So if you're on a ball, it might roll a little bit under your bum. If you're on your knuckles, you might be gliding your glutes across your knuckles. Come back down. Let's do that one more time each side. So push down with your right foot. Let the weight go onto your left hip and then rock or slide your hips to the right. So you're keeping that pressure. Release that back to center. Push down with your left foot. And as the weight goes into your right glutes, oh, that's nice and intense. Glide your hips over to the left a little bit. And then come back down. Give your bum a little wiggle. Lift your hips up and wiggle even more so you feel everything get wobbly, and let your hands come out. Maybe stretch out your fingers. Place your hips back down. Reach your right leg up into the air and try not to pull it forward to your chest, but keep it up as straight as it can go. Hands onto your pelvis and keep your pelvis down and stable. I'd like you to rotate your right foot in the air by moving the thigh bone in the hip socket. Next time your toes are pointing out, take your right ankle to your left thigh and place your ankle on your thigh, but keep the ankle dorsiflex, so with your toes, with your ankle at a 90-degree angle, roughly. Allow your right knee to reach away from your chest. You can use your hand if you want, but I like to actually actively work it. And you might find that the right side of your waist then tries to get longer and your left side gets shorter. So try to keep that even distance on both sides of your waist. If you feel like you want to go further, pick your left foot up off the ground and maybe place it on a block or hold onto your left thigh with your hands. If to be able to do that, you find your hips shifting and the right side of your waist shortening, then maybe don't go as far. Maybe just use a block instead. It doesn't mean you're losing. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you need a different option than what you first thought. That's all. Place your left foot back down onto the ground. Take your right leg all the way up to the air again. Hands back onto your pelvis to keep it stable, and slowly extend your right leg down to the ground. Try not to let your pelvis tilt or tuck. And as your right heel makes it to the ground, hopefully your spine is still in that nice neutral shape and your pelvis is also still neutral. Allow your foot to rock on the floor, heel rocking on the ground. And it might not move very much. That's okay. Keep your toes pointing up now. Bring your foot in a little bit so you're almost touching your other leg with your right leg. Flare your toes. Push out through your big toe a little bit more and point your knee in so you've got a bit of internal rotation. Keep your spine neutral as best as you can. Stabilize with your hands on your pelvis and gently bend your right knee until you touch your left shin and straighten. So you're sliding your right heel on the ground a few times. Bend, and straighten. And one more, bend and straighten. Bring your foot back up, place your right foot back down onto the ground, and relax. Reach your left leg up to the air now, please. Try to keep your pelvis still, stabilize it by using your hands, and rotate your thigh bone vertically in the hip socket so that your left foot waves in the air. Toes pointing out to the left. This time keep it that way. Bend your left knee and take your left ankle onto your thigh. Keep that dorsiflexion in your ankle. Actively reach your left knee away from you and try to keep both sides of your waist evenly long. If that doesn't feel like enough effort into your glutes and piriformis, start to pick up your right foot off the ground, hold onto your right thigh with your hands, and then re-lengthen the sides of your waist as if you're trying to push your tailbone to the ground more. And if you feel yourself rotating or twisting, maybe do slightly less. Now gently place your right foot back down onto the ground, hands back onto your pelvis, keep it stable and neutral, and reach your left foot up to the air again. Double check with your mind. Is your spine neutral? Is your pelvis neutral? Slowly lower your left leg down to the ground, keeping it long and straight, as if somebody's pulling on your ankle. Have your heel on the ground and wave your foot again while your foot is still flexed. And then keep your toes back up. Spread your toes, flare them out. Push out through your big toe a little bit more. And then draw your left foot over to the right a little bit. Start to slide your heel in so you're bending your knee up until your knee touches your right shin. And then slide your heel out. Bend. Straighten. One more bend. And straighten. Bring your foot slowly back up. Rebend your knee and place your feet on the ground. We're going to come all the way back up to sitting now. So roll to one side. Use your hands and help yourself press up to a seated position. From a seated position, take your hands behind you, feet on the ground, and once again windshield wipe side to side. And you might find that the pressure of the ground as you're doing this might give your glutes a little bit of a massage on its own, just like that. Come back up. Take the soles of your feet together. Take your knees apart and hold on to the soles of your feet. Give your arches of your feet a little bit of a squeeze with your hands. And allow yourself, as you do that, to slowly fold forward more and more. Now lift yourself gently back up. Bring your knees back up and straighten your legs back out in front of you. As we're sat in this position, if you find that it's hard to stay upright, if it's hard to get your pelvis to neutral, take a cushion or a blanket, sit on that. And all of a sudden, my pelvis is neutral again. Sitting bones just about dangling off of the edge. Sit upright as best as you can. And we're going to start by sliding that left knee in, bending your left knee, and cross it over your right leg. Keep your left foot flat on the ground. Keep your right leg actively reaching out. Now, some people might be familiar with doing this with your other leg also bent underneath you. We're just going to focus on the one for today. Both sitting bones nicely grounded. So like when we were on our backs, keep your pelvis neutral. Keep both sides of your waist nice and long. And then use your right arm to hug into that left knee and rotate yourself to the left. Let your outer left hip reach down and long. When we get into a twist like this, it's tempting to lean over and pull it up. We're trying to actively move out of that pattern. Slowly untwist yourself. Take your left leg back off. Straighten it out again. Bend your right knee now. Same thing on the other side. Cross your right leg over, foot flat on the ground. Maybe you need a block or a cushion to put your foot onto. Keep your right hip heavy. Use your left arm to hug your knee and rotate to your right. And when your right outer hip wants to lift, when the right side of your waist wants to shorten, we re-lengthen it and push it back down while still keeping your knee hugged in as best as you can. Slowly untwist yourself now. Take your right leg off. Place it back on the ground and straighten it out. Give your legs a nice little shake. And we're going to come around now to hands and knees. If you find that when you're in hands and knees or when you come up to lunges, the ground is really far away, get some blocks there to help make the ground a little bit closer. But from hands and knees, I'd like you to take your knees wide, big toes together, and shift your hips left and right, like you're trying to touch imaginary walls on either side of your mat with your hips. That's my skiing noise. Come back to center and bring your knees back toward each other. From hands and knees, I'm just going to move these out of the way. From hands and knees, take your right knee out to the side and start to make some nice big circles with your right knee. Notice how much you're trying to lean over to the left when that right knee is extended, and try to limit how much you do that. Change the direction of your circles, please. And now take your right leg all the way across your mat to the opposite side. Tuck your toes under. Think about trying to slide your foot back like you're almost trying to like smear something off of your toes, but then look over your left shoulder at that foot. Take a big breath into the right side of your body as you do this. And then as you exhale, take your right foot off of your mat to the right. Turn your toes to an angle at the right, any angle. And you can either keep your fingers on the ground and just push your knee in that direction, or lift yourself up to like a kneeling, not quite warrior two, and push your hips in that direction. Hands to the ground. We're going to take the right leg all the way across to the left at an angle. Push out through your heel, slide your toes back energetically, and look over your shoulder. And then bring your right leg all the way across and to the right, toes at an angle. If your mat is north, my legs, my toes and knee are pointing northeast. Come back. Bring your right foot all the way around to southwest. And then all the way up and over to northeast. Again, your fingers can stay on the ground if that helps. And one more time around and back to southwest. And then up to northeast. We're going to stay in northeast. Pull our hips back. And then take your hands to the blocks. Just to give us some height. Walk your right foot all the way to the front. Straighten your leg. And dorsiflex your toes. So you might notice my hips, I'm going to aim to keep my hips above my left knee. And when we extend one leg forward, that right leg, that front leg wants to pull the hip forward, but try to keep your inner thighs reaching together. So your right hip is level with your left. Dorsiflex at your foot. Fold slightly forward. Flare and spread your toes and rock on your heel again. Come back up. Take your foot into the midline and start to slide your right heel in. Slide your right heel out. Slide it in. Slide it out. It might feel sticky against your mat. One more. In and out. And slide it in. This time, place your foot down. So slide it enough that your foot is down. And it might feel like your legs are crossed or like you're doing a lunge on a balance beam. That's okay. We're going to keep our hands on the block so we don't fall off of this imaginary balance beam. Take both of your blocks over to the right, any amount that feels stable for you. Imagine that somebody's holding your right knee in place, but then pulling your right hip away from it. Push out through your right glute. It's very hard to demonstrate because there's not really much to see, but try pushing out through your right glute as if your right side hip is doing cat-cow. And now bring your hands back all the way around. Take your right leg and slide it all the way back. Extend your right leg back behind you. Bring your palms back to the ground. And just gently rock forward and back with your right leg extended but toes still on the ground. Come back to center now. Place your right knee back onto the ground. And we're going to take the other side now. So take your left knee out to the side. Try not to lean too much to the right when you start making these circles with your left knee. You might want to lean all the way over, but imagine there's a wall that you can press up against. Change the direction of your circles. And now take your left leg all the way across and over to the right. I have to move forward a bit. Tuck your toes under. Look over your right shoulder and think about trying to push your left foot all the way back. Breathe into the left side of your body. And then as you exhale, bring your left foot all the way around to the left side of your mat. Toes pointing to the northwest now. Push your knee in the same direction as your toes. Maybe your torso lifts up. Maybe you keep your hands on the ground. Fingers back down. Slide your left foot all the way across to the southeast. Push back through your foot. Look over your right shoulder. Left foot all the way around and forward to the northwest. Push your knee in that direction. Come back all the way around. Southeast. Exhale up to northwest. Inhale to the left side of your body as your foot's over southeast last time. And then exhale up to the northwest. Pull your hips back. Keep your foot up there and take your hands to your blocks. Nice and tall blocks. Walk your foot over to the center and straighten your left leg. Dorsiflex your left foot. Hips level with each other and above your right knee. And let yourself round your back and fold over that left leg. Flare up through your toes. Rock your heel so that your foot waves. Rotate in and out and in and out, allowing your thigh bone to rotate in the hip socket. My knee is clicking with every, there we go. Lift up a little bit. Take your foot over to the right a bit so it's at the midline or slightly over it. Keep your foot flexed. Fold over and start to slowly slide your heel in by bending at your knee and slide your heel out. Slide your heel in and out. And one more, in and out. Bend your knee one last time, slide your foot in, place your foot down so you're on a balance beamed low lunge. My knee is right above that left ankle as well. Walk your hands over to the left any amount and imagine that your knee is being held in place. Pull your left hip back as if your thigh bone is being stretched along. And push out through that left glute as if the left glute is the only part doing the cow part of cat-cow. Keep breathing and focusing your energy to push out through that left glute. Lengthen out through the left side of your thigh. Now walk your hands back. Slowly take your left foot all the way back. Toes tucked under, leg extended. Bring your palms back onto your mat. And just gently pulse yourself forward and back with that left extended leg. Bring your left knee back down to the ground. Slowly sit yourself back down. Maybe you're sitting on your heels or on a block between your heels. And take your arms up. Grab your right wrist. Let your ribs soften down. And side bend to the left. Trying not to fall off your block or your heels. Come back up. Grab your left wrist. Soften your ribs down. Side bend to the right. Come back up. Bring your arms down. Give yourself a little shake. Stand back up on your shins then, please. You can move the blocks out of the way. From standing on the shins, actually I'm going to ask you to take both your blocks in front of you. From standing on your shins, we're going to do one last little thing that's a bit like a pigeon, but not quite. Not quite. From your kneeling position on your mat, take your right foot out to the side. So your right ankle is in line with your left knee. And we're aiming to have the thigh parallel to one of the edges of your mat. Keep that parallel effort. Bring your hands onto your blocks. And I want you to push your bum back, but have your thigh stay parallel to the flat edge of your mat. So you're trying to move not just your bum, but the whole thigh back. Do 2 more. You can even rock onto the pinky edge of that right foot. Flare out through the toes. And then 1 more. Come back up. Take your right knee back down. Bring your left foot out to the side. So with one of these mats that I've got, you can see on the lines that you're following the parallels. Right knee on the line, left foot on the line, left knee above foot, my thighs staying parallel. And I'm going to push my bum back in line with my right ankle. Keep my left knee trying to push back. And come back up. Push back. Come back up. And 1 more. Take your left knee back down. Sit yourself back down. And give yourself a nice big breath to finish off the practice. Take a moment to pause and be grateful for the time that you've given yourself. And I hopefully Hopefully that helps you feel a little bit more ease into your glutes, into your piriformis, and into your hips. Short and sweet, gets to the point. Hopefully that does the trick. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much.